Yo, what's going on everyone? Mega Man here. You might want to sit tight. They released the patch notes, so we're going to be going over everything. This one might be a long video. Sorry to interrupt, but before we get to the patch notes, game director Tony did tweet out he thinks that the patch will come out around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. He could be wrong, but he'll verify later. Starting with General, Morty will be arriving on August 23rd and he'll be their first Plumbus wielding character. The patch will be coming in two parts. The first will be on August 15th and the second will be coming shortly afterwards, hopefully August 17th. So not every change, but most will be in the August 15th patch. The new free character rotation for August 15th to August 30th will be Arya, Batman, Lebron, and Steven. For the meta systems, free rotation characters now have an icon in character select to identify them. The Battle Pass XP match rewards increased to 10 for wins and 5 for losses, up from 5 for wins and 3 for losses. They disabled class-based Battle Pass missions other than for tanks. The developer note says, since players might not have access to fighters in specific classes other than tank thanks to Wonder Woman, they felt like relying on rerolls was not a reliable enough method to work around those missions. They lowered the requirements for a number of seasonal missions. Ring outs a player from the top of the map 50 times, previously was 75. Ring out a player from the side of the map 50 times, previously was 75. Ring out a player from the bottom of the map 50 times, previously was 75. And get 50 assists, previously was 125. General perks, clear the air, increase consistency on perk effect. They are aware of inconsistencies in this perk's interaction with Velma's speech bubbles and Batman's Batarang. They will address these interactions in a future patch. Make it Reindog, projectile speed is now properly applied to thrown items. Painted target, fix an issue where the projectiles weren't applying bonus damage. Retaliation ready, reduce unstacked gray health from 3 HP for 3 seconds to 1 HP for 3 seconds. Reduce stacked gray health from 4 HP for 3 seconds to 2 HP for 3 seconds. School me once. Increase consistency on projectile block spawn. Notable getting hit by Jerry will now spawn a projectile block buff. Slippery when faint, fixed an issue where evade distance was not increased on hit cancels. Snowball effect, fixed an issue where projectiles weren't applying bonus damage. Static electricity, increased consistency on projectile electric damage application. Notable thrown items will now apply electricity. Under gameplay systems, ice debuff, movement speed slow at 1 stack reduced from 20% to 15%. Slow now scales linearly, I cannot talk, with each stack of ice debuff. Remove the bug where fighters affected by ice debuff took additional knockback. On ability cooldowns, they fixed the bug where cooldowns would not trigger properly if used near an allied Jake. In gameplay modes free for all, they fixed the bug where the pop-up text would display the incorrect point value, and UI, the announcer pack, you can now preview your character's announcer pack before deciding to unlock it. The tutorial had various bug fixes, such as they fixed for tutorials causing stage hazards to toggle off in other game modes. The down spike tutorial has been fixed so that it requires an actual spike rather than any aerial attack. The Reindog tether step of the intro tutorial no longer counts if you pull your ally in after they have been wrung out. Fixed for Shaggy falling off the map during an aerial combat tutorial demo, and added a wall to the second step of the KBI tutorial. New terms have been added, like added wall fatigue to the glossary, added the term block, hazard, and wipe to the glossary, and updated move lists accordingly. Moving on to the section many of you probably been waiting for, the characters. We got buff, nerf, and change, and for the note it says attack callouts reference default controls. Starting with Arya, the goal for her was that they wanted these changes to make Arya's combos be more consistent and successful at lower skill levels. They buffed her air/ground up special. Hitting a fighter would now more accurately launch them at an angle to allow follow-ups for Arya. They buffed her air up attack. The first hit would now more accurately combo into the second hit. Buff neutral air attack now has earlier branching on hit. Buff ground side attack, Arya will retain velocity on first hit of side attack. Buff ground down attack now has slightly earlier dodge branching. They changed her air/ground neutral special, fixed the bug where Arya would not copy over capsule hitboxes on her normal neutral attacks when still in the fighter's face. Set Arya's hurt box to match her victim's hurt box while she disguises them. Fixed the bug where Arya's top UI would be offset incorrectly when she steals a face. Fixed the bug where Arya's disguise attack hitbox could get disconnected. Fixed the bug where Arya's original hitboxes would be usable during disguise attacks. And fixed the bug where the hitboxes from Arya's disguise would stay active during her normal attacks. When it comes to Batman, they changed his air/ground side special, fixed the bug where Batman would overshoot his grapple destination if the fighter he was grappling to dodged. Increased the overshooting distance when grappling to an ally, fixed Batman grapple failing at short distance under high latency. Thank you, cause that Batman grapple, if you did it wrong, you flying outside of the stage. They nerfed the ground side attack, first hit added 3 frames of whiff recovery. They nerfed the air/ground neutral attack coming in patch 2. Batarang pickup will now return 9.45 seconds of its cooldown from 11.55 seconds. This change helps create a window for when the Batarang is used for the opponent to react. With the perks like CoffeeZilla causing its cooldown to be even shorter, they felt this change was necessary to create a counterplay against the Batarang. Going into one of the many popular characters I see a lot, Bugs Bunny, they said is a bit too safe in everything he does. They giving him some additional whiff punish windows to help address this. For the air up special and the air side special, they fixed the exploit where Bugs could spawn 2 rockets. They nerfed the air/ground neutral special, fixed an exploit where Bugs could spawn multiple safes without triggering his cooldown, safe HP reduced from 16 to 14. Change to the air down special, Bugs' previous tunnels will now disappear when creating new ones. They nerfed the air up attack, added 4 frames of whiff recovery. They nerfed the air side attack, increased whiff recovery by 5 frames. Nerf to the ground down attack, Pi max lifetime set to 8 seconds from infinite, Pi no longer applies a slow. It is time to see what they about to do to Finn. Fighting against Finn felt too difficult as Finn felt a bit too safe and could throw out attacks without much fear of a punish due to how quickly he recovered. Hurt/hitbox foundational updates are coming soon, but will not be in this patch. Passive is nerf, attacks affected by attack decay no longer spawn coins. Finn now spawns with 100 gold instead of 200. Air down special has been buffed, fixed an issue where the gem required 200 gold to spawn, but only costs 100 to spawn. Gem now requires and costs 100. Air side special nerf, added additional whiff recovery. Ground/air up special has been nerfed, reduced the strength of the vacuum effect of the backpack. Weaker hits of the backpack will no longer overwrite stronger knockbacks from the other attacks. Whiffing with all hits will still drop a coin. Added whiff recovery. Hitboxes should better match the attack. Not perfect until their planned hurt/hitbox system overhaul. Air side attack nerfed, reduced active frames to diminish Finn's ability to hit fighters behind him. Ground down attack nerfed, the distance Finn covers with his attacks now scales with how charged the attack is. Nerfed ground side attack, increased whiff recovery for the first hit. Buff on the house perk, fixed an issue where Finn still spent gold on gems spawned by the perk. Slightly reduced the launch speed of gems spawned by the perk. This should fix the issue that arose when the perk was combined with the Make It Reindog perk. Garnet got some buffs and changes. There's a buff to her air/ground neutral special. Song activation starts earlier on frame 12 instead of frame 30. They changed the air/ground down special, fixed the bug where Garnet will be stopped by Iron Giant's collision when she moves with her down special. They buffed her air neutral attack, slightly higher base knockback. When it comes to Harley Quinn, they did 2 things. They changed their stuffy bat, Harley's bomb visual effects shrunk to better match the explosion radius, and they buffed the weight increased from 42 to 44. Going to the Giant himself, Iron Giant, they changed the global fighter visual effects. It now better matches Iron Giant's size without making the screen too busy. Notable adjustments include projectile block buff, speed boost buff, and Steven bubble debuff. Nerf to the air/down ground special, fixed an issue where the visual effects trails would persist and fill up the screen. Can no longer use cannonball attack when out of air specials. Knockback angle change to send fighters more horizontally and away from Iron Giant. Also fixed issues that allowed for infinitely bouncing on enemies near the ground. Air/ground neutral special nerfed, gray health from activation reduced from 2+ bolts HP for 5 seconds to bolts HP for 3 seconds. And gray health from ally overlap reduced from 5 HP for 5 seconds to 3 HP for 3 seconds. Changed ground forward special, Iron Giant grabs are correctly blocked by incompatible states. The nerf the air up attack can no longer hit the same target multiple times. Nerf to the air neutral attack, final hit knockback angle change to send fighters more horizontally and away from Iron Giant, and also increased knockback scaling. Ground up attack nerfed, gray health from scrape reduced from 3 HP for 5 seconds to 2 HP for 3 seconds. Allies that consume scrape will overwrite any existing gray health they have from consuming scrape. Ground forward attack got changed, fixed an attack decay not triggering for all parts of forward attack combo, and nerfed to the ground down attack. Gray health from art reduced from 10 HP for 10 seconds to 6 HP for 3 seconds. Jake got 2 nerfs, air down attack removed instant cancel out of the attack to prevent skateboard infinities, no longer bounces off allies, and ground up attack nerf, additional whiff recovery, slightly later charge cancel window to make it a bit more committal. To the latest character, Lebron, they changed the air/ground side special. Lebron solo dunk no longer spawns a shockwave on the ground. The alley-oop teleport version of Lebron's dunk spawns a shockwave and will launch fighters into the shockwave. The shockwave will launch fighters into the final hit that applies weaken debuff. Solo dunk knockback and hitbox size increase, fixed the bug where Lebron could dunk himself into the sky. They changed the ground/air down special no ball, adjusted to prevent ball spam. They buffed the air side attack, branches earlier on hit, fixed for hitbox hitting behind him too much. Buff air neutral attack, branches earlier on hit to increase combo potential, fixed for ball neutral air branching into no ball neutral air. Buff the ground side attack / ground down attack, removed shared attack decay from side attack and down attack. Buff the ground side attack, 3-hit combo hits more consistently. Ground neutral attack got changed, they fixed the angle of the attack, they changed the basketball, they fixed some team color issues that would occur when reflecting LeBron's basketball. They fixed the issue when LeBron could be stuck attacking without the ball while visually holding the ball. Some changes to the Hot Hands perk. When an ally catches a no-look pass while the Hot Hands perk is equipped, the basketball pass buff will emit flames to let allies know that they will throw an ignited basketball. Reindog has a buff to the air up special, removed hit pause on the ally that threw Reindog when Reindog connects in ball form. They nerfed the air / ground neutral special, increased cooldown from 13 seconds to 14 seconds, and they buffed the air up attack, hitbox size increased. Moving on to one of my favorite characters, Shaggy. He got 2 nerfs and 1 buff. They said for him, Shaggy's side special felt a little too unpunishable, so they added a bit of whiff recovery. They nerfed Shaggy's Rage Air side special, recovery increased by 2 frames, now better matches Rage Ground side special, addressed an issue where Shaggy could perform 2 Rage specials. Rage Ground Down special is buff. Shaggy Shockwave will launch fighters into a final hit that applies weaken debuff. They nerfed the ground / air side special, added 4 additional frames of whiff recovery. Moving along to Steven, Ground Down special has been nerfed. Watermelon Steven ability cooldown now begins when Watermelon Steven is wrung out. Fixed the bug where Watermelon Steven could spawn inside ceilings and be stuck. Air neutral attack changed, no longer will animation hitch. Voiceover / sound effect fixed an issue where Steven's intro voiceover lines failed to play, and changed the taunt, fixed an issue where Steven could only perform his up taunt. Superman, they just gave him 3 nerfs. The ground neutral attack, the ground up attack, and ground down special added additional whiff recovery to all 3 of those. This is one of the characters that people really wanted nerf, or at least somewhat mostly nerf. For Taz, they said this is the start of their tornado change for Taz. They will continue to be monitoring the tornado with extra scrutiny in case additional changes are needed. Chicken debuff, fixed a bug where transformed fighters could receive buffs that would not appear visually when they return to their normal form, reduced chicken duration from 10 seconds to 8, and increased the size of the chicken. Air / ground down special buffed, adjusted projectile movement direction of Taz spit projectiles to be more forward and less of a lob. When Taz spits a projectile back at a fighter, the projectile will maintain its original speed. Air / ground neutral special buffed, if Taz eats a projectile that can't be spit back out, he will refresh the count of his Apple Core ability. Increased size of hit collision for Taz, eating projectiles on his neutral special also made it possible to eat projectiles a few frames earlier. Taz deals 1 stack of weaken debuff every time he chooses an enemy. And fixed a bug that allowed for ground movement after eating an enemy fighter. Air / ground up special nerfed, damage reduced from 10 to 9 and base knockback reduced from 1500 to 1350. Fixed the bug where enemy fighters could become invulnerable to fight Cloud after dodging it. The air / ground side special has been changed, now a cooldown move with a 7-second cooldown. While the cooldown is active, side special is a weaker version of the tornado. Full power tornado has a 1.5 second duration and receives an additional 1 second duration after passing an ally. On cooldown, tornado has a 0.25 second duration and does not gain additional duration by passing an ally. Ground up attack has been buffed, now a 2-hit attack. The early hit combos into a sandwich clap. Tom and Jerry have gotten a buff. The dynamite now applies projectile perk effects. They changed the air normal attacks. They fixed a bug that would prevent Tom and Jerry from using normal attacks when air special limit had been reached. And the air up special has been nerfed. They fixed the issue where Jerry would continue to have active hit frames when falling from the rocket. When they said they were going to do something for Velma, I thought they were joking at first. The Player First Games had tweeted out, Velma is looking a little too popular, might have to do something about that. Velma did get all nerfs. Her air side special reduced move distance. The distance this traveled before gave Velma additional recovery that wasn't intended. Air up special reduced weakened stacks from 3 to 2. Will no longer chain an air down attack so easily to prevent easy application of damage. Ground side special reduced gray health from 12 HP for 4 seconds to 6 HP for 3 seconds. Air down attack increased recovery. Air side attack added whiff recovery. Ground / air neutral attack fixed issues when word bubbles would go through Bugs' tunnel. Reduced ammo count from 4 to 3. Reduced ammo return from 11 to 10. Decreased the weight from 63 to 60. And knowledge is power perk. Reduced gray health from 7 HP for 5 seconds to 3 HP for 3 seconds. If you managed to make it this far, thank you. We just got a little bit more to go. Wonder Woman, she got a buff to the ground/air neutral special, lowered cooldown from 13 seconds to 12 seconds. Ground side special has been buffed. Projectile shield comes out earlier to allow her to better react to incoming projectiles. The air up attack has been changed. Hurt box should now better match the animation. The weight has been buffed. They increased it from 65 to 76, and they changed the Shield of Athena's signature perk. Adjusted the scale of projectile shield for Shield of Athena's signature perk to cover an edge case where projectiles would pass above it during a dodge. As the making of this video, game director Tony did tweet out, there are 2 known bugs in tomorrow's patch that will get a fix out for ASAP. Enemies can hit LeBron's ball away, this is not intended, and ammo-based projectiles take 2 ammo. But ammo refreshes 2 ammo instead of 1, making for fewer ammo-based projectiles than intended. Season 1 patch 2 will fix these issues. Comment below, what did you enjoy most from these patch notes? Thank you all for watching this video. Here's some more Multiversus content. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for future gaming updates, and I'll see you all in the next video.